Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into the buzzing world of camera rumors for 2025. If you're anything like us, the excitement around new gear is almost a sport, but sifting through all the online chatter, that's the real challenge. And let me tell you, after a bit of a lull, camera rumors are burning even hotter than this summer heat wave right now.
It's true. It really is. And what's fascinating, I think, is seeing how some of those seemingly, pie-in-the-sky camera rumors actually do transform into real products on store shelves. We've
Bro.
seen it, like the Fujifilm X Half, the Sony RX1R III, even up to things like the Sony FX2. But it's also really important to remember there's plenty of plain old hot air out there, too, especially when it comes to firm release dates. That's often down to the geopolitical situation. So, our advice, always take most rumors with a good pinch of salt.
Exactly. A very good pinch sometimes. So, our mission today is to try and cut through some of that noise. We're going to dive into the most interesting, credible, and maybe surprising camera rumors out there. We want to help you understand what might be truly significant and what to keep an eye on in the coming year. Ready? Let's get into it.
All right, let's kick things off strong with Canon. They're consistently the subject of more camera rumors than pretty much any other manufacturer. And a huge reason for this is their incredible patenting spree. I mean, Canon's been the most prolific photographic patenter for, 41 consecutive years. It's staggering.
Yeah, it really is. And those patents, they often give us the first real clues about what might be coming down the pipeline.
Right, and historically, Canon rumors, they have this track record of turning into actual products, like a chain of dominoes falling.
Yeah.
Just think about recent launches, the EOS R1, the R5 Mark II, the Cinema EOS C400 and C80, even the PowerShot V1 and EOS R50V this year. It all started as chatter. Absolutely. And what's really telling right now is how Canon seems to be aggressively expanding its RV line. The Canon EOS R8V, for instance, it's rumored to be a sister model to the existing R8, but specifically tailored more towards video.
Okay.
And this is pretty significant because it looks like it's going to be the V-Series flagship. It could bridge that gap between their smaller APS-C R50V
Right.
and their high-end Cinema EOS line. So it gives creators a really compelling, maybe more accessible choice for serious video before they consider moving up to dedicated cinema cameras.
And the rumored specs certainly make it sound like a seriously competitive camera in that creator space. We're talking about a camera built around the same 24.2 MP full-frame sensor that's in the R8 and the R6 Mark II, right?
Here's the word, yeah.
And it's rumored to do uncropped 4K 60p, oversampled from 6K. That means incredibly sharp footage for this class. Plus, 4K 120p is apparently available too, maybe with a slight 1.2x crop for slow-mo stuff. And for post-production flexibility, they're expecting Clog 3, which is great for dynamic range, plus 10-bit 4.2.2 H.265 for rich color without huge files.
And the 4-channel 24-bit audio.
Yeah.
That's a definite nod to pro-level sound needs.
Exactly. And that rumored price tag, $1,799 body only, or $1,999 with a kit lens. Canon seems to be really aiming to capture that growing creator market.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit to the Canon EOS R6 Mark III. This one, it's starting to feel like a bit of a unicorn, isn't it? The rumored release dates just keep shifting. It was late 2024, then spring 2025. Now we're hearing maybe summer or even later.
Right. Geopolitics again, maybe? Supply chains.
Could be, yeah. And what's also interesting is just how little solid info seems to have leaked about this one. It makes it harder to pin down.
Yeah, true. But there are some consistent whispers, aren't there? Like it's supposedly getting the 24MP stack sensor from the EOS R3.
That's one rumor, yes. Trickle-down tech.
And the 5.69 million dot viewfinder from the EOS R5 as well, plus the split CF Express BSD card slots, which is always useful.
Yeah, flexibility.
Now, here's a detail that really caught my eye. Some whispers suggest it will get both C-Log 2 and C-Log 3. Now, that might sound surprising, because Canon usually keeps C-Log 2 for its higher-end cinema bodies.
Yeah, they've been pretty protective of that.
But they have been loosening up on Cinema EOS features in their vlogging cameras lately, haven't they?
They have, yeah. So maybe it's not entirely out of the question.
And if it truly backs 6K raw 60p video, like some say, wow, this could be a serious hybrid powerhouse. Blurring those lines.
Definitely one to watch. Now, the Canon EOS R7 Mark II. This is another one where all the rumors painted as seriously powerful, especially for speed. There's pretty strong talk that it might ditch the mechanical shutter entirely, Just go purely electronic.
Which makes sense for a speed-focused camera, right?
Exactly. Especially if it gets a stack sensor, which is also rumored.
Hmm.
That dramatically speeds up readout, minimizes rolling shutter, enables really fast bursts. We're even hearing whispers about Canon's triple-layer stacked sensor technology maybe appearing here.
Wow. And along those lines, there have been these exciting baby R5 rumblings, suggesting maybe a 40MP APS-C sensor capable of 8K video.
That's the high end of the speculation, yeah.
It's also rumored to be slightly larger, maybe to fit the R5 Mark II's cooling grip, which you'd need for sustained 8K.
Makes sense.
And what's interesting is even though these rumors are independent, they seem to complement each other. So if they do kind of combine like Voltron,
Yeah,
the R7 Mark II could be an incredibly special camera, really pushing what APS-C can do.
for sure. Then there's the Canon PowerShot V3. This sounds like a logical next step in their V series family. The V1 is clearly aimed at vlogging, videography,
Right.
but the V3 whispers suggest it's the model aimed more squarely at photographers, which is an interesting strategic split.
That is interesting. So the rumor suggests it keeps the same 1.4-inch sensor as the V1, but swaps out that 1650mm vlogging zoom.
Yep, for more traditional, like 20 meg zoom range, maybe topping out around 500mm equivalent.
Perfect for still shooters needing reach in a compact body.
Right.
Travel, wildlife, maybe?
Could be. And if it manages to keep the V1's pretty impressive 30 frames per second burst shooting,
Oh, yeah.
then this could be a serious seller in 2025 and beyond. Hits that sweet spot.
Definitely one for the travel bag.
And this next one, this is fascinating. After months, maybe even years of whispers, there seems to be more concrete info about Canon's rumored retro EOS R camera, the Canon
A
RE1.
retro one, yes.
Everything points to it being a mirrorless update of the iconic Canon AE1 film camera. And the latest rumblings suggest maybe an announcement this year, ahead of a 2026 launch, possibly to mark the AE1's 50th anniversary.
Wow. Okay, so Canon's finally jumping on the retro bandwagon.
Seems like it, embracing that trend.
And it looks like they're taking a page from Nikon's ZF playbook, basing the RE1 on a mid-range camera, like the R6 Mark II, maybe?
That's the speculation. 24MP sensor, focus on photo features over video.
Canon's definitely playing a bit of catch-up here, though. Nikon, Fujifilm, OM system. They already have some great retro options.
True, they're a bit late to the party.
Personally, I really hope Canon goes the extra mile. Like, exclusive film simulations, maybe even partner with Kodak. That'd be cool.
Ooh, interesting idea.
And of course, some vintage-style lenses to really complete the look and feel for the fans.
Essential for the aesthetic, yeah. Now let's talk about the Canon EOS R3 Mark II. The R3 is in kind of a strange spot in Canon's lineup now that the R1 is officially the flagship, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels a bit overshadowed.
Some feel it's a bit of a lame duck, maybe,
Mm.
but others see it differently. It raises this question: does the R3 now become the technology launch pad for the wider EOS R family, debuting the latest cutting-edge tech before it gets refined for the big tentpole products like the R1?
I can definitely see the logic in that. Like the R3 Mark II could be where Canon debuts its first global shutter sensor.
Exactly. Test the waters before putting it in an R1 Mark II, perhaps.
And a global shutter!
Yeah.
That's a big deal. It captures the whole image at once, eliminates rolling shutter. Crucial for high-speed stuff.
Groundbreaking tech, yeah. And there are rumors Canon is ready to launch a camera with one.
On the other hand, maybe there just isn't a need for the R3 anymore, especially with the original being 3 years old now and the R1 filling that pro sports slot.
It's possible the lineup could be streamlined.
So yeah, the next few months are going to be very interesting for Canon's pro strategy.
Agreed.
Right, let's step into the Nikon zone. Their rumors, lately anyway, have almost all come true, which really lends weight to that old saying where there's smoke, there's fire.
It does seem that way recently.
We've seen the Nikon Z5 II, the Z50 II, and maybe most significantly, those first Nikon Red Z-mount cinema cameras. That was big news.
Huge news. Now, there's some scuttlebutt about a Nikon Z in the second, but honestly, it feels more like wishful thinking to me.
All right.
Or maybe just a logical next step that isn't actually on their immediate roadmap. The whole point of the ZF is its premium special status, right? That retro vibe with modern tech.
Yeah, that's got a certain cachet.
So the idea of iterating it into spin-offs with just incremental bumps,
Yeah.
I think it could actually dilute that specialness. Nikon needs to be careful there.
I hear you. That makes sense. And while, yeah, rumblings of an upgraded version with maybe a 33MP sensor are interesting, I kind of agree. I think Nikon would be far better served maybe producing some complementary retro lenses for the existing ZF and ZFC first.
Exactly. Build out that ecosystem.
Right, rather than new camera versions without enough native aesthetically matching glass to really make sense. That feels more strategic right now.
Totally agree. Now, what's fascinating with the flagships is how the pandemic kind of disrupted that traditional Olympic cycle for launches.
Ah, yeah, the 4-year cycle.
But the Nikon Z9 II will apparently arrive in time for the 2026 Winter Olympics. So Nikon's getting back on that pro-release schedule.
Okay, and what are we expecting? Big changes.
Probably evolution, not revolution. Much like the Sony A1 II was an incremental step up. So likely the same core tech, maybe even the same sensor as the Z9, but with performance tweaks.
Gotcha. But the really surprising whisper, or maybe not so surprising now, is that the biggest development might actually be on the video side.
That's the talk. Nikon is reportedly doubling down on the Z9's already pretty outstanding video specs by incorporating technology from RED.
Since they bought Red in 2024.
Right, exactly. So this could mean, groundbreaking internal RAW video, advanced color science, really leveraging that RED expertise.
That could be huge for Nikon video shooters. Oh, and quick note, those very plausible-looking presentation slides that leaked in early April.
Yes.
Total April Fool's hoax from China, so ignore those completely.
Good PSA. Okay, Nikon Z7 III. There has been so much noise about this one. It's genuinely hard to separate real info from wishful thinking. Especially after the Z6 III launch, which was pretty significant. Some say it's not coming soon, others say it's imminent. Specs all over the place.
Right. One of the big, but probably, like you said, wishful thinking rumors I'm hearing is a 67 MP sensor to really go after the Sony A7 or V.
Yeah, that feels like a stretch.
I'd expect the traditional 45.7 MP maybe, but perhaps with a partially stacked sensor like the Z6 III to improve readout without going full stacked.
That seems more plausible. But does it even need a stacked sensor? The Z6 III and Z8 Z9 are already Nikon speed demons.
Good point. And 8K video will probably stay with the Z8 and Z9, right?
Most likely. So we're probably looking at 4K, maybe 6K at best for the Z7 III.
But we can probably look forward to a bump in image stabilization, maybe, to around 8 stops. That would be nice for handheld.
That seems like a reasonable expectation. Yeah. Always welcome.
Okay, shifting our gaze over to Fujifilm. Their rumor mill, thankfully, is often surprisingly accurate, almost like clockwork sometimes.
Yeah, they tend to be pretty reliable, don't they? A lot of that water cooler talk actually pans out.
Totally. Like, the GFX100 RF launched as that audacious medium format rangefinder, just as rumored. And then that title was quickly usurped by the Fujifilm X Half.
The world's first digital half-frame camera, yeah, with that unique film camera mode. Very Fuji.
Very Fuji indeed.
Now, Fujifilm has actually confirmed that a successor to the X Pro 3 is in development, and expectations are pretty high.
Okay, good to know it's official.
What's noteworthy here, though, is the name. While it is the successor to the X Pro 3, the name might actually leapfrog straight to X Pro 5.
Ah, like they did with the XT50.
Exactly. To align it with their current naming and maybe signal a bigger generational leap.
Makes sense, and I assume the signature hybrid viewfinder and that hidden rear screen will probably stay. Helps differentiate it.
You'd have to think so. It's core to the X Pro identity. Helps it stand out in their own crowded lineup.
And personally, I think they'll keep that smaller secondary film sim panel on the back, like the X Half has.
Could be.
And maybe it'll even adopt some other X Half features, like that film camera mode.
Possible. It'd fix the ethos.
You know, with some of the criticism the X Half got for its more limited feature set, I wonder if an X Pro 5 with an APS-C sensor but full-fat features RAWs, good burst shooting, 4K video, could be what many photographers actually wanted the X Half to be.
It's an interesting thought. A truly capable, classic-feeling tool.
Yeah, we'll see.
And speaking of Fuji, we recently saw the big reveal of the Fujifilm GFX Eterna filmmaking camera. Right. What's fascinating here is how Fujifilm is really stressing filmmaking, not cinema camera.
Deliberate marketing choice.
Seems like it. To market it broadly, maybe to solo shooters, small teams, without that intimidating cinema label.
Okay. The announcement itself didn't have a ton of specifics, though, did it?
Not really, but they did confirm it uses the same sensor and processor as the GFX100 II.
So the core imaging tech is likely the same.
Probably. With some fine-tuning for video, sure, but the real difference is the form factor. It's basically, you know, like how Sony put the A7S third tech into a video-friendly body for the FX3.
Gotcha. So the Eterna will have all the dedicated ports, connectivity, rigging options.
Exactly. And the filmmaking-friendly menus and controls that serious video shooters need.
Makes sense for that market. All right, let's turn our attention to Sony. Rumors there are flying thick and fast, and honestly, many have turned into reality pretty quickly lately.
Yeah, they seem to move fast once the rumors start.
Both the Sony RX1R III and the FX2 went from rumor to reality almost in the blink of an eye. And there's significant movement in vlogging cameras, too. That area's getting really noisy, and Sony is clearly doubling down on that category.
They definitely see the importance there. Now, the successor to the Sony A7 II from 2021, well, not much is known for sure, other than it missed its planned Q4 2024 and Q1 2025 launch windows.
Right. Delayed.
Seems so. But Sony has recently registered a new body with the certification authorities, and that's widely believed to be the A7V.
Ah, the registration code, often the first sign.
Exactly, so the wheels are definitely turning.
And the sensor talk is varied, right? Some suggest a new 44MP sensor to match up with the Canon R5 Mark II and Nikon Z7 7 maybe.
That's one line of thought. Others think it might stick with the same 33MP resolution as the A7 Divide, like the A7C2 and FX2 did.
You know, for me, a bunch of new AI features, maybe like at intelligent upscaling or better subject recognition we saw in the Canon R1 and R5 Mark II, that would actually be more interesting than just a resolution bump.
Yeah, practical improvements.
And with AI being such a buzzword now, Sony could definitely market an AI camera that uses smart tech to help creators.
Could be their angle. Now, the Sony A7S III, video-centric, launched way back in October 2020.
Feels like ages ago in camera years.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's long overdue for a refresh. Even though models like the FX3, FX6, and ZVE1 all share its basic sensor and features.
Right. The tech is spread out.
What's interesting here is that Sony seems to have maybe taken its foot off the gas with the A7S series as its main video focus, but they haven't abandoned it. It's a tricky balance.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing too. An A7S IV will appear at some point. But Sony's primary focus seems squarely on the ZV line for vloggers and the FX line for filmmakers and serious creators, especially FX that just exploded in popularity.
It really has.
So it feels like we might actually see the opposite of last time. Maybe A7S IV tech debuts in an FX body first.
Before launching, with some tweaks in the traditional A7S body, that would be a shift in strategy for sure.
Yeah.
And related to that, it's long been rumored that another FX3 camera is on the way. The interesting question is, might we get an FX3 II instead of an A7S III, rather than both?
Oh, merging the lines.
It's been suggested. Though the latest I've heard is that Sony does intend to keep the A7S line alive, maybe for those hybrid users who still prefer that form factor.
Okay. Well, whether both cameras arrive or not, it seems very plausible they'd share the same core architecture, right? The original FX3 and FX6 were basically just rebodied A7S III in many ways.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see if Sony keeps A7S alive as its own distinct line, or if it eventually merges more closely with that FX3 line, that kind of content creator meets cinema space.
A sign of broader market trends, perhaps? And quickly on Sony APS-C, the A6200, it was originally expected this summer, rumored to have the same excellent 26MP sensor as the A6700 and the ZVE10 II.
Right, which kind of raises the question, does Sony or do consumers really want or need both the A6200 and the A6700 in the lineup? Especially with the ZV cameras as a third vlogging-focused option in APS-C. It feels crowded.
It does feel a bit crowded, yeah. Lots of overlap, potentially.
Okay. Next up, let's talk Olympus OM system rumors. Yeah, old habits die hard, calling them Olympus, I know.
Yeah, takes time.
Even though the OM system, OM1, replaced the last Olympus-branded camera quite a while back, we've seen the launch of the monumentally well-received OM system, OM3.
Fantastic camera.
Followed by maybe a slightly less enthusiastic reception for the OM system, OM5 Mark II.
Yeah, a bit more muted. Now, despite being an obvious product for them to release, there isn't actually much promising info about an OM system, OM10.
Really? It seems like the logical next step.
You'd think so. Following the EM1 EM5 becoming the OM1 OM5, especially since the Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV from 2020 is still current and popular as that entry-level mirrorless.
Right. So why no OM10 rumors?
Well, the launch of the OM3 has kind of disrupted the hierarchy, hasn't it? Previously, you had the flagship EM1, mid-range EM5, entry EM10, but now the OM5 has sort of been pushed down by the OM3, becoming the enthusiast model. Our M system has even used language referring to the OM5 as entry-level.
Ah, I see. So that makes the OM10 the odd man out.
Kind of feels that way. Maybe its previous role will go to a new generation of PEN cameras instead, which are often even more compact.
Could be. Though, hey, now that everybody knows Taylor Swift uses an EM10.
Huh. The Swift effect.
Maybe that's reason enough to launch an OM10 after all.
Never underestimate celebrity endorsements.
Okay, moving over to Panasonic, rumors are still swirling there for both full-frame mirrorless and micro four thirds. They've been super busy lately, too. Launched the Lumix S9 compact full-frame, the Lumix GH7 flagship MFT video camera.
And the Lumix G97 showing commitment to MFT still.
Right, and they even dropped that revamped Lumix ZS99TZ99 compact before Christmas, feeding that compact camera craze.
Been busy indeed. Now, there have been these persistent whispers about a successor to the Lumix S1H, their big full-frame video camera. But honestly, I think it's mostly speculation rather than solid info. You hear things about 50MP sensors, built-in ND filters. Feels a bit like wishful thinking.
Yeah, built-in NDs would be nice, but maybe ambitious.
What is useful here is we actually have an official response from Panasonic's Matt Fraser. He confirmed a replacement for the S1H is coming at some point.
Yeah.
And he explained their replacement sequence. They started with the S1R because its sensor was ready first. So S1H is on the list later.
Okay, good to have that official word. But here's a twist. Recently, there's been talk of an entirely new camera, the Panasonic S5R.
Yes. This would be a significant shift from their previous S1, S1R, S1H, S5 segmentation.
So why now?
Well, remember when the S5 2-second introduced phase detect autofocus? That was huge for Panasonic.
Oh, yes.
I really threw the whole product line into disarray because it suddenly made the S5 so much more compelling as a hybrid option.
Right. It leapfrogged the older S1 models in AF tech.
Exactly. And the S5iX is so video savvy already, it kind of makes you question the immediate need for the S1H2.
Yeah.
And now, with chatter about a resolution-focused S5R, it almost feels like the market is demanding the S5 platform as Panasonic's champion. Like it's leading Panasonic in a slightly different direction.
Interesting. The S5 taking over, in a way.
Kind of feels like it, which connects to this next one, the Panasonic Lumix S1X rumor. This feels super sketchy to me.
Another new S line.
Yeah. While expanding the successful S5 line makes some sense, introducing another entirely new S-series line seems implausible, especially when their current lines are already kind of overlapping.
I agree. Seems unlikely. And the whispered specs from Rumors, they sound pretty wild.
What are they saying?
Like a 49MP BSI sensor, 8.5K 48p video, 60 fps bursts, 17 stops dynamic range, omnidirectional phase detect AF.
Wow. Yeah. More salt, please, waiter.
Yeah.
Some of that sounds almost too good to be true for a completely new line right now.
Definitely take that one with a whole shaker of salt. Okay, let's shift to Hasselblad. Now, they might have given some ground to Fujifilm in the medium format space recently.
Fuji's been very aggressive there.
But Hasselblad still makes some of the absolute best medium format cameras in the world, like the Hasselblad X2D 100C. Might just be the best pure stills camera you can buy.
It's incredible, yeah. Pure image quality.
And they keep bringing out those more traditional form factors, too, like the 907X, keeping that spirit alive.
They do. Now, Hasselblad's mirrorless release cycle is typically pretty predictable. A new mainline X camera roughly every 3 years.
Okay.
And guess what? This is that third year since the X2D 100C launched in 2022.
Ah, so timing's right.
Exactly. And sure enough, the company has registered a new model, code HB722, with certification bodies like the FCC.
The registration again, always a good sign.
It usually precedes an announcement, so it certainly looks like we're getting a new member of the X family in 2025, lining up perfectly with their pattern.
So if we follow history, X1D 50C in 2016, X1D D50C in 2019, X2D 100C in 2022, this new one is likely the Hasselblad X2D Ti-7 100C.
Seems the most logical conclusion, yeah.
And we can probably expect refinements, right? Better AF, faster operation, building on the already great X2D.
Similar refinements, probably.
Yeah.
Evolution, not revolution.
But here's where I'd be genuinely astonished if video were to return.
Ah, yes. It was in the original X1D.
But totally absent since Hasselblad's really focused on stills, so video coming back would be a surprise.
A big surprise, yeah. We'll see.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Leica. That year was pretty busy for the red dot specialists. We had the Leica SL3, the Q343, even that new compact, the Deluxe 8.
And they hit the ground running this year, too. Launched the Leica SL3S, the first new camera of 2025, plus those 100th birthday commemorative cameras.
Busy times.
Now, rumors have been rife for years about Leica introducing an M camera with an electronic viewfinder, an EVF.
The EVF-M, yes, the eternal rumor.
The latest suggestion is it might actually debut not on a whole new generation, but in a special edition version of the M11. maybe called the M11V.
An 11V. Why that approach? Not just put it in the M12.
Well, it could be a pretty canny move, actually. There's a lot of resistance among rangefinder purists, right? People who value that traditional optical system.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sacrilege to some.
So making an EVF standard on the M12 could potentially alienate, or at least annoy, the brand's most loyal fan base.
Right. Damage the brand image, maybe?
But by releasing a specific M11V edition, those who want an EVF can opt in if they wish. It preserves the, quote, purity of the main M line for the traditionalists.
Ah, okay. That makes a lot of strategic sense. Keep everyone happy. And there's even a new registered Leica camera that people think is exactly that.
Widely speculated, yes. Fits the timing.
So thinking about the next generation, the M12, could this finally be the year the M series goes all electronic and gets in-body image stabilization, IBIS?
That's the other big question. IBIS is huge for handheld shooting.
Leica used to say the M bodies were too small for IBIS, didn't they?
They did. But later they also noted that if they omitted the mechanical shutter, that would free up the necessary space.
Interesting. So maybe losing the shutter makes IBIS possible.
Could be. And we've been hearing noise forever about an EVF coming to M cameras generally. So maybe the M12 is the launch pad for a whole suite of changes.
Like what else?
Well, rumors suggest the M12 might be about 3 millimeters smaller than the M11, and the screen could be almost an inch bigger.
Whoa, how?
Chatter is maybe by replacing some or all of the physical buttons, like the Leica TL2 did with its minimalist design.
Touchscreen focus. Bold move for an M. And didn't FCC documents point to a May announcement for the M12 that didn't happen?
They did, yeah. May 16th obviously didn't happen. It's believed to be one of those cameras delayed by those mysterious external circumstances we keep mentioning.
Right, the delays strike again.
And finally, for Leica, what's truly noteworthy is the Leica S4, their medium format follow-up. After teasing us with Easter eggs and coy comments for what feels like forever, Leica has confirmed a new medium format camera is on the way.
Okay, it exists. That's progress.
It exists. But Leica chief, Andreas Kaufmann, is being pretty shy about specifics. He just says it exists, is being developed, and that development has proven difficult.
Difficult? How?
Could be growing pains, maybe. Moving from the older DSLR tech of the Leica S3 to match the mirrorless medium format capabilities of, the Fujifilm GFX cameras and Hasselblad's X series, it's a big technological leap.
Yeah, going mirrorless medium format is a different beast.
And just to underline how challenging this seems to be, Cyril Thomas, the CEO of Leica France, noted he doesn't think we'll even see the S4 in 2025.
Not even next year. Wow, okay, so that's a longer-term project then.
Seems that way. Pushing boundaries, maybe, but taking time.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the exciting and, often contradictory world of camera rumors for 2025, it's clear that innovation is still very much alive across all these brands.
Definitely a lot happening.
But as always, we really recommend taking everything with that good pinch of salt, especially those release dates. Given the ongoing geopolitical situation, plans can shift really unexpectedly.
Precisely. And, understanding these rumors, even the sketchy ones, it gives you valuable insight into manufacturer strategies, into the tech trends we're seeing, like AI features, global shutters maybe, the huge focus on video, and how the evolving needs of different creators are shaping the market. It really encourages critical thinking, I think, about what these potential cameras mean for the future of photography and filmmaking. Not just specs, but how we actually create images.
Well said. So considering all the exciting and, sometimes contradictory rumors we've unpacked today, here's a final thought for you to chew on. What single technological breakthrough or market shift do you think will truly redefine the camera industry in the next few years, and why?